Good evening, class 2020. Good evening. We're about to begin here. This white coat ceremony welcomes you, our incoming class, to the New York State American program of the Sackler School of Medicine, Tel Aviv University. And the white coat symbolizes your transition into the role of caregiver and into the study of medicine. I now invite Professor Ehud Grossman, Dean of the Sackler Faculty of Medicine, to greet this new class.
Good evening to everyone. It's a great pleasure for me to welcome you all to the beginning of the academic year of the American School of Medicine at our university. I'm happy that you choose to study medicine in Israel and particularly in our university. It is exciting to start a new track, and especially when you do it in a foreign country. You should know that you are starting a long career of medical doctors, and your final destination is a profession that will allow you to help others. Medicine as a profession is a prestigious one that has a lot of options. Clinical practice in many areas, preventive medicine, research, and even business. But beyond the prestige of the profession and the earning capacity, it has a personality element, the ability to interact with people and help others. Although the road is long and paved with difficulties, we will try to help you and make things as easy as possible. We are aware of your particular difficulty because you are in a foreign country, as I mentioned, with a foreign language and a different cultures. And we are trying to do our best to help you in this matter. We are trying to encourage more interaction and connection between Israeli students and American students and you. And I believe that this will help you to overcome the initial difficulties. You should also enjoy our small country and be familiar with the slight different cultures that you are used to. Our medical school is one of the leading schools, of course, in the country and also in the world. And you should be proud that you succeed to be part of it. Your program is important to us, and we will do our best to give you the best education. Our goal is not only to make you successful doctors, but also to teach you manners and empathy for others. Professor Arnon Afek, who is here, and the director of the program with his team, will be available for you, and Dr. Lazar, the dean in the New York office, will be available for you in New York and during the year when he comes to visit you. As the dean of the Faculty of Medicine, I will walk you through the whole period of study and will be available for you and will make every effort to make your stay here enjoyable. I hope to see you all in 4 years from now in the graduation. I am sure that your studies here will leave you with a good taste, and you will be good ambassadors of the State of Israel in the world. I wish you all good luck, success in your study, and Shana Tova. Be'atzlacha.
Thank you, Professor Grossman. Professor Arnon Afek, Director of the New York State American Program, will now greet the class.
I saw that you dressed so nicely, so I couldn't resist go and put in tie. That's I always carry some with me in my car, so I wouldn't be surprised. You know, Israelis don't really regularly wear tie, and if you spend some time outside of this building, you know exactly why. Anyway, yes, we have very rarely rain in Israel. I know that the British people would love that, but we would love to have some rain also. So thank you very much for coming, Dean Grossman, Professor Barshak, the head of medical school, my dear friend, Dr. Lazar, and the team, my team that works with me already for almost 6 years on this program. I see it as a great opportunity, an honor to be the director of this program, because I think that what's really is important in the field of medicine is the ability to pass the knowledge from one generation to the other. It's our obligation because medicine cannot be taught through the internet, through textbooks, not even in Wikipedia. You need, in order to do medicine, to learn from someone who's skilled, from a physician, the way, therefore, you will teach when you will be a physician your students in the future. So for us, it's a great privilege to teach, and for us is also part of our vocation here. And you will see throughout your studies that people here like to teach, that they see it as their job, and you will find the best professor, the leading professors teaching you and telling you of their skills. And that's something I hope you will take part of what I told you before, the nice thing you should learn from the Israelis, take with you back when you'll be in the States, and continue with the same tradition. I already spoke to you with more than an hour, so I don't think I have to repeat it all right now. And tell you, the only thing I'd like to tell you, like I think Professor Grossman said very clearly, try a little bit also to enjoy your stay in Israel. You are not just in Israel, you are in Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv is considered in many ways even a different state within the state of Israel. It was elected one of the best cities in the world. There is always things to do here, of course, apart from studying, but I know that the people from the program always find the best places. Each Friday night when I go out to the best restaurant, I already see my students there, so I said they choose very well. Enjoy your time here, study well, and I do hope that you find your experience here in Israel just great. Toda rabba and Chag Sameach.
Thank you, Professor Fick. Dr. Stephen Lazar, Executive Dean of Sackler, New York office, please come to the stage.
I want to thank all of you that shook my hand as I walked in here today, because you really impressed my 11-year-old granddaughter when I walked in, and it makes me look important, so thank you very much. I just have to tell, I was going to use the word lucky. You're not lucky, you're really fortunate. You're really, really fortunate. And we just spent about 10 months choosing a class. And you are the best of the best, and we scrutinize every single application. And then when the committee is finished, I just want to make sure they didn't screw up, so I read all of your folders again. And those of you who were at our get-together in New York a couple of weeks ago, I said I always say this statement, and the staff in Israel knows I always say this statement. Biggest thrill I have is to sign your letters of acceptance. Because my secretary, Yolanda, gives them to me one at a time. And I say to her, I don't want this folded in an envelope. I want this in a FedEx flat sheet, because some people sign save those. And so we do it really special. And then she gives me each folder, and I do the same thing. I go, changed his life. changed her life, and I really mean it. And the two biggest thrills I have are signing your letter of recommendation and then shaking your hand when you get your diploma. I really get emotional because in the next 4 years we'll really get to know each other. So I'm not going to give a speech, but I wanted to tell you who you are. You are a class of 63 students, 20 females, 43 males. That wasn't by design. What we do, and there are females on our admissions committee, and there's about 9 of us on the final committee, and there are 42 interviewers around the country. But we select the very best students that we can. And as we're selecting, I say to my secretary, okay, you're accepting 14 people today. How many men and how many women do we have? We don't know. I mean, we don't say we're going to be 50-50. We just, some years there are more women, some years there are more men. So that we don't make a determined effort to do that. There are 10 Canadians in this class of 1963. You represent 45 colleges in the United States and Canada. 13 states in the United States are represented, and the largest number of people from any group is almost not accidental, it's New York. It's a New York State accredited program, and more people know about it in New York than other states. 11 of you already have your master's degree in addition to your bachelor's degrees. And it's very hard for us to average the MCAT this year because there's a new MCAT and there's the old MCAT. And some of you took one, some of you took both. So to get averages, we use the old MCAT until everybody's taking the new MCAT. So your average MCAT score is 30.46. The average science grade BCPM is 3.59. And your average GPA is 3.6. Now, I have been in the medical school business all my life, and I want to tell you, you don't get better statistics than that at 99% of the schools in America. So you're really top-notch people in a top-notch school, and how lucky you are to be able to take advantage of the culture of Israel while you're studying. And you will. What always surprises me, but not any longer, is when I walk into the school during the year, the students are hanging around the office next door, and everybody's kissing everybody. And it's really like a family here. It really is. Some people you won't want to kiss. I'll tell you who later, but but everybody's kissing everybody. I just wanted to say one thing. One of the scary things about medical school is how expensive it is. The answer is it's very expensive. We are a not-for-profit, so we try to keep costs as low as possible. This past year, we didn't raise the tuition from exactly what it was last year. We don't know what next year will bring, but we try to keep it as low as possible. But for those of you who are having financial difficulties, severe financial difficulties, you can contact either Barbara in this office or call Ira in my office or write to him or contact me. We don't have an overwhelming number of scholarship funds and loan funds, but we do have scholarship and loan funds to help those people who are in trouble. So I really talked much longer than I expect to. So I just want to say good luck, and I hope I meet all of you tonight with a handshake. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Lazar. Dr. Aaron Allen, Deputy Director of the New York State American Program, will now greet the class.
So, how you guys doing? Hanging in there? Question is, what are we doing here tonight? I mean, a white coat ceremony sort of sounds nice, but it's a good excuse for a free dinner. I know in Tel Aviv, it's always better to have food rather than having to look for food. But what have you really done to deserve this celebration? I mean, Do they have a calculator ceremony at accounting school? Do they give you like a black pen in law school? I mean, you haven't. So you'll tell me, well, Dr. Lazar said it's not easy to get into medical school. So I'll accept that. That's fair. But then maybe the celebration should have been when you got your unfolded letter from Dr. Lazar. And now that you've completed orientation and found a roommate and opened a bank account, hopefully, and learned what Moodle is, you deserve to have a celebration. No. I know your parents have high hopes for you, and our daughter, the doctor, as we speak, they're probably all crowded around the television screen all over the country and in Canada, in their living room saying, that's my daughter, that's my son, they're getting their white coat ceremony. Come, Grandma, come look at this. So maybe we should just send each of you, of your parents, a framed picture of you with a stethoscope, and we could all go home. I'm sure maybe we could use it even as a receipt for your first tuition payment. We could work something like that out. But yeah, we're all here tonight, and you guys are all looking very professional, which I appreciate. And so there must be more to it. So if we want to look for something, an understanding of something, we can go. It used to be that when I was in the White Coat Ceremony, we looked in the dictionary. But now we don't need dictionaries anymore. We have Wikipedia. So I looked in Wikipedia. What is a ceremony? A ceremony is a mark or a rite of passage in a human being's life that makes significance. So what is this rite of passage that we call the White Coat Ceremony? And I think, in a word, the significance of tonight's ceremony is an opportunity. It's just that. It's nothing more. It's nothing less. It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to become a physician, in a sense. It's an opportunity to care. It's an opportunity to work together. It's an opportunity to discover. It's an opportunity to learn. And most importantly, as you'll find out as your time here in Sackler, it's an opportunity to learn how to give. And now I want you to listen very carefully. Can you hear it? It's a sound of opportunity knocking. And I know that's a cliche, but there is a sound there if you listen carefully. You begin to work tonight a journey into the wonders of the human body, the human soul. And indeed, the most sacred part of that journey is a journey into what we call learning how to be a healer. For centuries, people have looked into what it means to be a healer. It's a noble calling. And that's what we're doing tonight. We're giving you that opportunity to enter into that journey. It's a choice that each of you will need to make every morning when you wake up and every night when you go to sleep. Some of you, I hope, will take this seriously over the next 4 years and will transform yourselves into what we really are proud of as Sackler students, a true caregiver. You will hear that from me over and over again. We want you to be a true caregiver. That means putting your ego aside, putting your needs aside, and focusing on somebody else. This is not easy, but we here in the administration, as you've heard tonight, are presenting you with much more than a piece of white cloth with the Sackler name. We are presenting you with an opportunity to be one of us. So later tonight, after the dinner, and after maybe there's been an after party, and you go home, take a few minutes to look yourself in the mirrors and think to yourself, what do I want to make out of myself? What do I want from this journey? And if that answer is, I want to change myself by giving my heart to others, then you've come to the right place. If your answer is something else, maybe you don't belong here. But I hope that all of you will find in your heart a place to look to give to other people. And then ask yourselves, after you've decided to do that, what am I willing to do to get there? The answer should be everything. It is not easy to get through medical school, but it is worth it. It is worth it to learn, it is worth it to develop, it is worth it to discover, and you all can do that starting tonight. Because to be an excellent physician, which is what we want from each of you, what we believe that each of you, as Dr. Lazar said, with your acceptance here to Sackler, can become, you'll have to give it everything you have. I'd like to share with you a short story. There was once a small girl who was feeling bored at home and decided to go for a walk. And the walk became longer, and suddenly she found herself in a forest. She didn't know where she was. And after about an hour or two, her parents started to wonder, where is our daughter? And after 2 hours, they started to get really nervous, and they called everyone that they knew. And everyone went to go look for this little girl. 4, 5, 6 hours, everyone was out looking for this girl. Where was she last seen? And eventually, the night got late, and people gave up. The only person that kept looking was her father. Poor little girl, sitting in the forest all by herself, sat down against a tree and started to cry. And at 3 in the morning, her father found her, because he was the only one that kept looking. Now, I've just been spending the last month of my life reading and rereading and correcting and recorrecting every single personal statement from the 4th year class. And I want to tell you something amazing. There are at least 3 people that have written about the story that I just told you. But they were a medical student, and they had a patient on the ward with professors and attendings and residents, and they were that father that kept looking, and they've made a difference in somebody's life. They came up with a diagnosis that no one else thought of, and they've written about it. It's powerful. You all, hopefully, number of times in your career, will be that person that will keep looking when no one else is, that will want to find the answer to the cure, the diagnosis. Probably a lot of you are familiar with Oliver Sacks. When I was growing up and I was coming into medical school, he was one of my inspirations. Why did I care about Oliver Sacks? Well, as a young person, I watched the movie Awakenings. Probably many of you have seen it. What's remarkable about Oliver Sacks? Why did he capture the imagination of the American public? Because there was a sense of discovery. There was a sense of wanting to not take no for an answer, that no disease is incurable. That captured me. And I hope that some of that will capture all of you. Now, not all of you will become researchers, and not all of you will be the top of your class, but every single person in this room has something amazing that they can give to medicine if they look deep enough and they search for it and they bring it to the fore. Some of you will be social action people. Some of you will be leaders and organizers and presidents of your class. Some of you will be peer tutors and help other people along the way. But each of you that are sitting here needs to be a discoverer. You need to hear that call of the opportunity knocking at your door and take it with full force. Because if you don't, then you'll have wasted the opportunity that Dr. Lazar and the group has given you tonight, and you won't become what we want from you, which is an amazing student, which is a Sackler student. You know, people ask, why do we get such good residencies in Sackler? Why are we successful all the way over here in Tel Aviv? And the answer is what I've just said to you. It's because we teach people how to become discoverers of themselves, of medicine, of research, and people notice that. So tonight, I want you to listen for that opportunity coming to you. I want you to look at yourself in the mirror. I'm serious about that. Think about it hard. Why did I come here? And then ask yourself, am I willing to do what it takes to become a Sackler student? I hope the answer for every single one of you is yes. And you should know that nowhere else in the world will you get the support and caring and respect and guidance that you'll get here. And at the end of the day, that's what makes all the difference. So welcome to the club, and you have a lot ahead of you. We're proud of you, and we're looking forward to great things.
Thank you so much, Dr. Allen. Dr. Shoel Shoam, Associate Program Director for Preclinical Studies and Director of Curriculum Development.
Good evening. To begin with, I'd like to share the words of a fellow Canadian, Sir William Osler, who once said, "The practice of medicine is an art, not a trade. A calling, not a business. A calling in which your heart will be exercised equally with your head. The skill of exercising your heart and your head, especially simultaneously, is a challenging one. Now, during your orientation weeks, you have repeatedly heard about the competencies and the professional behavior expected of you. And I'm certain that after all that, you all do appreciate the difficulty of the training you're about to embark on. The white coat, all sitting waiting for you, is but the first ceremonial milestone, hopefully of many, on that difficult journey. Your white coat, with its soon-to-be overflowing pockets, coffee and other stains, wrinkles, and much worse, will bear witness to your journey. Make it proud, even if you can't keep it clean. Moving from one uniform to another, I want to take you back to a 1992 film, kind of close to your toddlerhood for some of you, called A League of Their Own, which tells the story of a group of women on the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League team during World War II. In one of the scenes, a character named Dottie, who's one of the players, announces that she's leaving because it just got too hard. And Tom Hanks, who plays the coach, says, it's supposed to be hard. If it wasn't hard, everybody would do it. The hard is what makes it great. And yes, the hard is what makes the career of medicine great. An amazing journey. You've chosen to take this trip, and we've chosen you. You've chosen to exercise your heart and your head in doing it. We hope that you knock the ball out of the park. Your donning of the white coat this evening signals your readiness to take on this special trade, this special role to play ball, so to speak, as a physician in training. The symbolic white coat, it signifies a change in the way you think about and the way you understand the people that you're going to serve. It also signifies a change in the way you think about yourself and your own abilities. When you applied to medical school, I think it was quite implicit that you would be greatly expanding your scientific knowledge during these 4 years. Yesterday, you signed an honor code, which serves as a kind of behavioral and attitudinal contract as your role as a physician in training. And today, you don a white icon that visually identifies you as a professional trainee seeking to improve not just their knowledge, but their skills and the attitudes they have towards the people they serve. Tonight, we admit you to the ranks of those who've earned the right to wear the white coat, but I hope that you'll show us all, faculty, peers, family, friends, that you'll continually earn the right to keep that white coat as a symbol of the head and the heart that it represents. Good luck to you all.
Thank you, Dr. Schoen. Tammy Lipkin-Sur, Program Administrator and Registrar.
Wow, you've made it through 2 weeks of orientation and you were all here on time. Very impressive. Today marks the first day of medical school, the beginning of a 4-year journey. And I want you to just look around at your friends sitting next to you. You will become the most amazing friends, allies, and a true family. We know this is not an easy journey of 4 years, and we are honored to be taking it with you. So we wish you the best of success and are happy that you have chosen to come here. I want to take this opportunity to thank your amazing orientation guides. Nama, Ortal, and Dana, who've been here with you for the last 2 weeks. You don't know, but I received pictures from you from the first day at your hostel, for all your field trips, from Yafo, every place they were like paparazzi sending me pictures all through the day, making sure that you are okay. And we want to take this opportunity to say thank you and wish you also success on your own medical studies.
Thank you, Tammy. Dr. Lazar, Professor of FEC, please come to the stage and Galit Shilo from Student Affairs will now give out the white coats.
I forgot to say that she will tell me the size of the coat.
Okay, it's all set out here. Okay, well, the first row, please rise. And as I call your name, please come to the stage. Are we all right? Okay. Matthew Alexander. Yoni Balbul. Gabriel Banchik. David Ben-Nun. Shaheen Bruchim. Gary Carbell. Max Chasen. Justin Danishrath. Amit Elazar. Isaac El-Kayam. Daniel Imont. Michael Anayati. Tom Finkelstein. Michelle Florentine. Aaron Fox. Rachel Frankluck. Row 2, please stand and come to the stage as I call your name. Jordan Freed. Lior Fussman. Celia Gelman. Yeshaya Grossman. Alexei Gurevich. Jordan Halevi. Clea Harris. Nathan Heller. Elizabeth Hodara. Yoda Isaacs. Judy Jun. Sharona Kern. Jake Koplowitz. Jonathan Kovacs. Alexander Krull. Ilana Lefkowitz. Row number 3. Oh, I'm sorry. Now, row number 3. Liat Litwin. Liad Maslaton. Eric Maisel. Joseph Merabi. David Meister. Mitchell Melikov Sosin. Kyle Miller. Yuda Mivaser. David Mushayev. Anika Paratkar. Jason Perlmutter. Jessica Rabani. Ziv Rahani. Sophia Rifkin. Gabrielle Robertson. And Adam Rose. Fourth row, please rise. And come to the stage as I call your name, please. Ronnie Rosen. Aaron Rosenberg. Joshua Rosengarten. Louis Shendovich. Benjamin Schwartz. Daniel Schwartz. Nicole Shalit. Kevin Shamash.
Somebody's going to steal my wallet.
David Shamanov. Jonathan Sorkin. Thomas Spina. Maya Stein. David Talbot. David Talbot.
It's good.
Thank you. Thank you. Jonathan Tipp. And Miriam Weil. Now for the Declaration of Geneva, which you see on the screen. I will read it out loud, of course, and you will please repeat after me. After I first say the first sentence. At the time of being admitted as a member of the medical profession, I solemnly pledge to consecrate my life to the service of humanity.
I solemnly pledge to consecrate my life to the service of humanity.
I will give to my teachers the respect and gratitude that is their due.
I will give to my teachers the respect and gratitude that is their due.
I will practice my profession with conscience and dignity.
I will practice my profession with conscience and dignity.
The health of my patient will be my first consideration.
The health of my patient will be my first consideration.
I will respect the secrets that are confided in me even after the patient has died.
I will respect the secrets that are confided in me even after the patient has died.
I will maintain by all the means in my power the honor and the noble tradition of the medical profession.
I will maintain by all the means in my power the honor and the noble traditions of the medical profession.
My colleagues will be my sisters and my brothers.
My colleagues will be my sisters and my brothers.
I will not permit consideration of age, disease, or disability, creed, ethnic origin, gender, nationality, political affiliation, race, sexual orientation, social standing, or any other factor to intervene between my duty and my patient.
I will not permit considerations of age, disease, or disability, creed, ethnic origin, gender, nationality, political affiliation, race, sexual orientation, social standing, or any other factor to intervene between my duty and my patient.
I will maintain the utmost respect for human life.
I will maintain the utmost respect for human life.
I will not use my medical knowledge to violate human rights and civil liberties, even under threat.
I will not use my medical knowledge to violate human rights and civil liberties, even under threat.
I make these promises solemnly, freely, and upon my honor.
I make these promises solemnly, freely, and upon my honor.
That's the end of the declaration. You're all now invited to a lovely buffet dinner outside. We wish you a great evening and good success all year.